Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to the Makeup Mummy family. So today we're doing a testing eBay brush video. I just want to see if the brushes from eBay that are dupes for your high-end brushes, if they do work, if they're soft, if they irritate the skin, they shed, and just all-round value for money. So without further ado, let's crack on with this video. Okay guys, I'm going to take a sip of coffee first before we get on started. Mama needs a coffee. Okay, so we have right here, I picked up this set here, which is the dupe for the ZOEVA brushes. Now they arrived in this like faux leather bag, quite a sturdy bag, not overly soft, but it'll do the job. It has the rose gold zipper there, and it has ZOEVA's brand name and also ZOEVA right there as well. As you can see, it's just plain on the back. So again, this would be handy, for instance, if you want to store the brushes in here. Me personally, I will be storing my brushes in a glass jar. That's just how I like displaying them. And I'll probably use this as a makeup bag if I'm traveling. So when you open this bag up, it is a fair size bag. Quite deep. It doesn't open very wide, but it does go quite deep in. Plus you have a little zipper on the back here. So again, you can store, if you are using it for traveling, you can store maybe, I don't know, wipes and things in there. I did find with this bag in particular, though, you'll see what I mean, the zipper on the back bit here doesn't work very well. It keeps getting stuck. So again, not an issue for me, but for some folk it might be. Now let me just pull out all the brushes you do get. This is a 15-piece set. Let me just place that there. So they all arrive like this. So they all arrive in their plastic coverings. Some of them arrive like this, where they've got a sturdier bit of plastic covering the brush, just to protect the brush while in transport and just to make sure the bristles aren't going awry and getting bent and destroyed. So you've got a combination of face brushes as well as eye brushes here. I don't think I'll be able to use all the brushes today, but we're going to try our best and use quite a few. I'm actually going to put the bag down here so I can place the brushes down for you. Now I'm just going to haul one of the face brushes out for you, because this is the first time I've actually had these brushes out of the packaging, because I just wanted to wait for this video. Now I think I paid £12.99 for this entire collection. So this is one of the face brushes. So as you'll see, it is rose gold. You've got like your wooden handle there, and it gives you the number, which is 112, and it tells you it's a face curve. Now, it also has your ZOEVA brand. On the back here it says Colour Love Makeup. Now, I don't think the real ZOEVA brushes has this logo at the bottom. There is something on the brush handle, but I don't quite know what, because unfortunately I don't have a real ZOEVA brush here to compare with any of these. I'm just showing you these guys because not everyone can afford £100 for a set of brushes. And I'm including myself in that, because £100 for a set of brushes is, in my opinion, just a little too pricey. So if these brushes work just as well, there's no harm done. Most of my brush collection, guys, is either Q-Vonge from Amazon, or I have another brand named Anu, I think they're called, and I have my Makeup Revolution brushes. So they're all very, very affordable. Very, very soft, nice, and as well as being soft, it is a denser brush. So I would probably use this if I was doing foundation. Generally speaking, for a foundation brush, I don't use that. I use a stippling brush. I just feel it's a bigger brush head, and it just seems to go into the skin a little bit more. I've only recently started using a brush for foundation, but that's the brush that I tend to go for. So I don't know if I would use this for foundation. I would maybe use it for concealer. So you do have a number of face brushes. So this one is the 103 Defined Buffer. So again, it's an angled brush, more again for stippling or buffing cream products in. Again, you could get away with using this for foundation. I think this is the one that I'll use today for foundation. I'm just going to unwrap some of these. You will see some of them. I don't know if you guys could pick that up on camera, because there is a few bits here that are just sort of popping out the side of the brush, but once you do that, it puts them back in place. Very, very soft, very soft. So this is the 106 powder brush. What I do know about the real ZOEVA brushes is the handles are a lot longer, I think, on the real ones as compared to what these ones are. They are quite a short brush, but the bristles just feel amazing. I'm just going to keep undoing these so we can get them out and see. So this is 127 Luxe Sheer Cheek. So again, there's a little bit of shedding there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yep, look. Just on there, there's a little bristle just popping out. It's actually not shedding, it's just a longer bristle than the rest of them. But I just cut that down, it wouldn't bother me. So you would use this for probably your blusher. They feel so soft on the face, guys, they really do. This one right here that we have is the 103 Face Paint. So I'm assuming you would just use this for your contour, which is what I would use it for, going down and creating a nice line. And then we're getting into, oh, we have one more face brush, I'm telling a lie. We've got your traditional fan brush right here. So this is the 129 Luxe Fan. So as you can see, for applying highlighter, again, I'm not a huge fan of the fan brush, but let me just undo these. So then we have the 142 Concealer Buffer, which looks just like this. Someone's impatient out there. So again, for just going, be good to get in the corners of your eyes up there and just around about. Then we have this one, which here is the 234 Luxe Smoky Shader. So that just looks like that. So again, I would use this for under the eye, for smoking out the under the waterline. Then we've got the 228 Luxe Crease. So again, just going into the crease of the eye with this one. So I'll be using some of these today to see how well they blend out my eyeshadow and if they do feel a little skiffy or do they feel soft. Skiffy, that's not even a word. Scruffy. Then we have the 322 Brow Line. So again, just for doing your eyebrows, a nice angled brush. Then we have the 227 Luxe Soft Definer. So this is a little bit more angled as well. So I would definitely use this for like if I was going in to do a bit of shading in the corners. Then we have the 322 Brow Line. So again, another brow brush, again, just for defining those brows. Then we have the 312 Spot Liner. So again, I would use this like if I was concealing like any blemishes, or if I was doing a little bit more of your eyeliner, like your gel liner, I would use that for that. This one is probably one that I'm really excited about, and how sad is that, but I am. So this is the 230 Luxe Pencil Brush. I don't actually have a pencil brush like this in my collection, so I'm highly excited to be trying one of these out today, because I think it's ideal for just getting in, especially if you're going into the crease and you're doing a little bit more detailed work. Oh, we're ready to lose them all. So I'm super excited. And last but not least, ladies and gents, we have the 226 Smudger. So again, I would just use this if I was smoking out like on the lid, or if I was going under the eye. Again, just a really nice brush for smoking out your eyes. So let me just grab all this rubbish down here, and I'm just going to place that here for me to tidy up at later date. And I'm going to place the brushes just down here. So like I said, guys, that's the brushes you're getting. And that's what they all do. Like I said, they're not identical to ZOEVA, not by a long shot. I do think the brush handles are slightly longer with the real ones, and I don't think the real one has that Colour Love makeup. So if any of you guys do have the real ZOEVA brushes, let me know what you think. Like I said, guys, for someone, if you can't afford the real deal, these... Why does this happen? Every time I record, every time this happens. We're going to start, I've already moisturised, guys. I'm just going to start by applying foundation. So I'm using the Avon True Colour Flawless Liquid Foundation, which I love, and this is in the shade Porcelain. So I'm just going to apply what I would normally do. I'm just going to go for 2.5 pumps, and I'm just going to start putting a little bit of that. I've actually started, because I've been using a brush, I've been starting just applying a little bit with my finger to my face. Whereas if I was using a sponge, I would just apply it to the sponge and then to the face. But one thing I will say about a sponge is you do use a ton more product. So we're going to go in with the 103 Defined Buffer, which looks just like this. And I'm just going to start buffing out this foundation. I keep reaching for my hand to dab it in. It's like, no, you have some on your face. First impressions, guys, of using this brush, I am not a fan for using it for foundation. Although it is blending out okay, I just don't feel... I feel almost as if it's just taking it off as I'm blending it in. I'm still seeing a ton of redness. I'm still seeing lots of my own skin, you know what I mean. I just don't feel it's blending out as nicely as my normal brush would. I think I'm going to stop there. It's just smudging it. It's just like streaking up my foundation there. So I'm just going to take my normal brush I would use, which is needing a wash. They are due for their wash today, so don't judge. Yeah, see, I'm feeling I'm getting a better coverage with that one. I mean, this foundation isn't a full coverage anyway. This foundation is definitely medium to full. So I generally do use the full 2.5 pumps with this foundation, but I just felt with that brush it was just, I don't know, it was just moving it and smearing it around my face. It really wasn't blending it into the skin, whereas this brush gets in there. And again, guys, this is an affordable brush that I'm using. This brush right here again was off of Amazon, and I think the collection cost me maybe under £10 anyway. And you got some face brushes and you got some eye brushes. But I just love this brush for my foundation. Like I said, normally I am a sponge girl, but lately I've been using this. Moving on to concealer. I'm using my LA Girl Pro Concealer again in the shade Porcelain, and I'm just going to put some down here. Okay, so for this one I'm going to start with using the 112 Face Curve, and then if I don't like the feel of that, we're going to try the 142, which is the Conceal Buff. So I'm going to start off by using this one right here, which probably most folk would maybe use for the foundation, but I'm just not up for this brush for foundation. So far, guys, I'm not a fan of the face brushes so far. I just don't feel they're doing anything for... I just don't feel they're doing anything. This is my normal one, and I just feel that one's just doing it a little bit more. Generally speaking, for my concealer, I do use the sponge still for the foundation, for the concealer. This little brush right here, which is a concealer buffer, I mean, that's okay for getting into the corners right up here, where maybe your sponge would miss or your bigger brush would miss. But yeah, I'm just not loving so far the face brushes that we've tried. Okay guys, so that's everything blended out. I don't know what you guys think there. I'm just not loving these face brushes so far. So, like I said, so far that is the 103, the 112 and the 142 I'm not a huge fan of. The buffer concealer brush, I don't mind for getting further into the eye corner there, the inner corner. Again, because sometimes when you're using your sponge, you might miss that bit. So I do like that for getting right in there and just smoothing out those inner corners. And I definitely, I would say around the nose is a good, this is a good brush for that. But that would be the only way I would use this brush. As far as this one and this one, I can't see me putting these to much use. I'm just not a huge fan of them. So I'm going to go on to powder now. So I'm going to be using my Kiko Matte Fusion Powder. And I'm going to use this big fluffy brush right here, which is the 106 powder, just to set all that down. Very soft, guys. Very, very soft. Somebody's not happy. Not jaggy at all on the skin, which is nice. And it's doing the job pretty much as I thought it would do for a powder brush. It's just allowing me to get that powder on my face, and like I said, it's got a nice size of head, you know, so you are getting quite a lot of area. And like I said, it's so soft, it's unreal, so it's not going to irritate you in the slightest. So yeah, that's the powder done, and I'm loving that little brush. So that is one face brush I am loving. Now, we're going to think about, I normally do my eyes first before I do the rest of my face, so we're going to do that now. So I'm just going to pop off and just prep my eyes for eyeshadow. Okay guys, so we're prepped. As you can see, I have my little sellotapos on, and I've also primed the eyes as well with the Avon primer in just beige. So I'm going to be using this little palette here, which is the Rose Gold palette, which is the Life on the Dance Floor palette, and it's Guest List from Makeup Revolution. I love this palette. Also guys, I do have a video coming up, a tutorial using the gold palette as well. So that's coming up on my channel very soon. But the Guest List palette is very, very warm in tone. So lots of nice, really warm colours. So great for this time of year. So I think I'm going to go for a more understated eye today, just keeping it on the natural. So I'm going to start off with, let me just get the... I'm going to start off with Cha Cha, which is just a really cream ivory colour. And I'm using a Q-Vonge brush for this because I don't have a really big fluffy brush in the collection. So I'm just going to lay down the first base with this brush here. Okay, so I'm going to stick with this brush for the meantime, cheating a little, and I'm just going to go in with Two Step, which is sort of more of a peachy colour. And again, I'm going to stick with putting that just in the crease area. Just like so. I'm going to pick up the 234 Luxe Smoky Shader, and I'm actually going to use that for just blending out those colours as we build. Ooh, nice and soft. And they're blending the shadows really, really well. Well, this one anyway, but we haven't used really anything else at the minute. I'll be going in with that crease brush very, very soon. So again, just a little deeper, I want to take Lean Back, which again is still sticking with a peachy tone, but it's just a little deeper than Two Step. And I'm just going to take that here. So I'm going to be picking back up that 234, and I'm just going to be running that along the edges of that eyeshadow we've placed down, because I just want to keep all those lines really as flawless as we can. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. So what I want to do now is pick up the 228 Luxe crease, which is this little one right here. And I'm going to go in there with Light Up, which is like more of a pinky corally colour. This is more of a satin finish shadow. And all I'm doing with that is I'm just going to go in there, and it's just going to add a little bit of colour, and it's getting right into that crease. That is really, I'm liking how that feels actually. Really slim line, really soft, and gets in there. I'm going to bring them up closer so you can see. So it gets right in to that crease there. So it's letting you place that colour exactly where you want to put it, which I really, really like. So far I'm a fan of this brush. So again, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get right into that crease with that brush. And it gets right into the corner, which is ideal. Now, even though I've put that colour down, I'm still going to go in with the 234. And I'm just going to take it just along that line. like so, just to blend in all the colours. And then what I want to do is, I think I'm going to go with Roll, which is quite a deep burgundy colour. Let me show you just what that looks like. So this is Roll here, so quite a deep colour, and I'm just going to place that again, outer corner, balding that in. I end up playing about with shadows, and I always say, oh, I'm going to do this look, I'm going to do this look, and then when I get the colours on my eyes, I'm thinking, oh, we can add a bit of that, we can add a bit of that. I really like this brush. This 234 is just fabby. So now I'm not wanting to add in too much colour now. All I want to do is, I think I'm going to take Spin, which is a really, really light baby pink shimmer. And I'm going to place that all over the lid. And I'm maybe going to bring a little bit of that Roll and just add that into the shimmer. I'm actually going to use, I think for this little job, let me see, where did I put it? Here it is. So I'm going to try the 226, which is a smudger, but I'm actually going to try that with one of these shimmers and just see how we get on. Just packing it on. Actually, that's going on quite nice with that brush, I have to say. I'm going to intensify it with obviously putting a little on my finger there, but as you can see, that's just using that brush, and it's just applied that shimmer really, really nicely. But I want a little bit more intensity, so I'm going to use my actual finger for this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take my little Luxe pencil, which is the 230, and I'm going to take a little bit of Light Up, which is that corally pinky colour, and I'm just going to go in there and place that on the inner corner, just to add a little bit of depth on that inner corner so it's not too light. And then I'm actually going to add just a little bit of that on here again, so it's got a little bit of something and it's looking blended and connected. And then I'm going to take our 234 and just blend that inwards. So you've got the shimmer, but the shimmer's looking connected with the other colour there as well. So I'm just going to pop off and do the same on the other eye. Okay guys, so I've finished off the other eye. I've just added a little bit more depth in the inner corners there using Roll and Bold. I also popped off and did my eyebrows off camera. I can't do eyebrows, I've told you this before, so just pretend you can't see them. So I'm going to continue on with the 226 smudger, and I'm going to go under my waterline, and I am going to use Roll, and I'm just going to place a little bit of that under my waterline like I said. Okay, and then I'm going to, for sort of getting into the inner corner area, I'm going to go in with Light Up, which is just that corally pink, and we're just going to place that in there, just heading across. Roll. Like I said, Light Up is more of a satin finish eyeshadow. So there we have it. I'm then going to go back in with our pencil brush, and what I want to do is dig my brush into what is called Get Down. So it's like, again, this more satin finish, but it's a beautiful, beautiful orangey. It just turns, it's just a beautiful colour. I can't even describe it. It sort of like turns colour. It has this really iridescent duochrome feel to it. And I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner, bringing it sort of from inner corner, working its way into that little corner there. So that's pretty much everything for the eyes, guys. Like I says, guys, I am really loving these brushes. Like, the eye brushes are really, really good. I mean, they're really, really soft, and they blend everything out really, really well. Like I said, I was just doing a really simple sort of warm look. It's nothing major. It's nothing to write home about. I just wanted to sort of try the brushes out. to see if I would use them again for any other look that I would create. But yeah, I definitely would. I mean, these brushes are amazing. So that was the 230 I used, which is the pencil, the 234, which is the smoky smudger, and the 228, which is the luxe crease, and I also used the 226 smudger. So these brushes I am a fan of. I'm loving these. So these will probably be in my everyday routine. They will be used quite a lot. So as I said, I've done eyebrows, so now we're going on to contour and blush. So for this, I'm just using my little elf duo in Fiji. What I will say, guys, is this video is going to be ultra long, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. So we're going to use the 103 face paint brush, which is basically used for contour. So I'm just going to go in there. Bringing that down my own natural line. Okay, so now I've got that placed. Generally what I would do is use another brush to blend it out, but I'm just going to stick with this brush and just work it. I don't feel this brush is blending anything out, so I'm going to go ahead and use my big fluffy brush. That's better. I'm getting more of a... Okay. I'm going to still stick with this little brush, and I'm just going to, again, go in there and just... I like to, with my contour, blend, blend, blend. I still don't think it's blended out very, very well, I have to say. It just seems to be like a line sitting, but I'm going to go over it with, again, my bronzing brush and just bronze the rest of the face. So that might help with that nasty looking line sitting there. So I'm going to go in now with my little blush brush. So this is the Luxe Sheer Cheek 127. I'm just going to pop a little bit of that colour on there. What I am seeing with these face brushes is they're not really picking up a lot of product, to be fair. I would probably use the face brushes if I was sort of washing out my own and I needed the face brushes as backups, but I don't think the face brushes will be used every day, guys. And then highlight, we're going to go in there with my PS Glow Kit, which is this one right here, and I'm going to take our fan brush, which is the 129, and I'm just going to go for my usual glimmer. Some people really like fan brushes, other people just don't, and I'm one of these that I just don't. I will say though, it is picking up the product, it is applying it to my face. It's giving it a really nice natural just glow. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop off and I'm just going to pop my mascara on, which I'm using the PS HD Volume and Lift, and I'll apply something on my lips and I'll be back. Okay guys, so we're back. Hair's now down. It's still a little damp because I go to bed with it just tied up in a plait, wet. And my hair is so thick it takes at least, well, more than 24 hours to dry. So this is the look, guys, just a simple look, a nice warm look. Is it my best look I've created? Probably not. But I just wanted to show you how these brushes work and if they're worth the money. I would say, yeah, they are worth the money because the eye brushes themselves are just amazing. So you don't have to buy the 15-piece set. They do other sizes. I think they do an 8-piece, and I think there's maybe something in between that or something lower. So you could just purchase the eye brushes. For me personally, the face brushes I wouldn't use on the daily. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, the ones I used today for foundation, it just didn't really do anything for my foundation. It just moved it around the face a little. This for concealer and even foundation, again, I'm not a fan of these brushes for foundation. And the concealer, again, it wasn't doing overly much. The only one that I kind of did like there was the concealer brush. I like that for getting into the inner corner there and just around the nose area. So I would definitely use this. The powder brush I really like, really soft, and it did the job of just applying a powder where I needed it applied. Fan brush, again, it did the job. It applied the highlighters. You can see it's a beautiful glow, so it does work. It's just not one of my favourite brushes. I've never really been a fan of fan brushes. That's just my personal preference. So the eye brushes, I would say, are definitely the winner out of today's. So like I said, your 234, the 230, the 228 and the 226, these are all fabby brushes. I mean, they really did the job. They applied the shadows really nice. They blended them out really well. My little pencil brush I'm in love with for getting into the inner corner, and I'll be able to do all those detailed looks without any problem at all. So I'm going to be using definitely more of these to try them out, and I will update you on what I do think. I'll put it in the description box below. The blush brush, again, I'm not a fan. I don't think picked up a hell of a lot of product, and I do like to see my blushes. I mean, I don't like them to be on your face there, but the contour brush, again, not a fan. It just seemed to, I don't know, it just seemed to give me a line and I couldn't get it to blend out. Generally nowadays I do just bronze rather than the whole contour thing. And the eyebrow ones I didn't use today simply because I was just doing a pencil for my eyebrows. So, honest opinion, $12.99, was it worth it? I would say yes, simply for the eye brushes alone and the powder brush. The rest of the brushes for me are a little bit of a flop. I just don't feel they did anything for me, but that's not to say they won't for any of you guys out there. So if you can't afford the £100 brush set, these are definitely ideal. I mean, they're soft enough and they may all work for you, but for me, just personal preference, the face brushes for me were a bit no. The eye brushes are a thumbs up. So there you have it, guys. That's me testing out the brushes, my thoughts on the brushes. If you've liked this video, I know it is a long video, but if you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, it would mean a whole ton to me if you could. And if you do subscribe, hit that bell as well, as that'll notify you every time I upload, which is Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. So until the next video, guys, you take care and we shall see you soon. Bye.